Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
Every now and then you hear a weird story, and then you wonder, but wait a second, what laws apply to that? So this is one of the strangest stories I've seen in a while. Kevin sent it. Thanks a lot. But the law is interesting. Man previously cited for hiding under woman's car, arrested in Arizona. He was arrested. He'd been previously cited for this, for hiding under a woman's car. Now, you might go, but Steve, I've heard this story from a friend of mine about people underneath cars in mall parking lots. No. We're not talking about urban legends here. We're talking about situations where this guy was sneaking under women's cars for a strange reason, but he also got arrested. He's been cited for this. So Kenneth Wong and Kenzie Beach both wrote this. The story's out of Gilbert, Arizona. Police there have arrested a 28-year-old man following an incident where he was seen crawling under the SUVs of women, and I believe it's 3 total in this situation, who were vacuuming their cars at a car wash. So investigators identified the man, and in court documents, they say that the man had been arrested numerous times for similar offenses. A story from June of 2016 states that the man, at the time he was 20, was cited by police for allegedly hiding under a woman's car so he could touch her feet. The article noted it was the 4th time that he was cited for such behavior. Now, Gilbert police say on August 29th, their officers investigated 3 separate incidents of a man seen crawling under the SUVs of women who were vacuuming their cars at a Superstar car wash. In these 3 incidents, he pulled into a parking spot next to them. While each victim was vacuuming her vehicle, defendant hid under her SUV and spent several minutes under the vehicle. The defendant climbed out from under the vehicle when each victim was finished vacuuming, and then he left the area. Police say because his actions under the vehicles were not known during an early point of the investigation, the victims had to take their cars for an inspection for possible damage or the possibility of a tracking device being on the vehicle. Who knows what he's doing under there? That's the weird part, but it gets weirder. Investigators said all 3 victims described the event as unsettling, and one victim reportedly experienced nightmares since the incident. Now, court documents state that the man was arrested in the area on the afternoon of September 24th, and he's accused of 3 counts of voyeurism, and 3 counts of disorderly conduct. The voyeurism, however, is an interesting one, because I'm not sure how good of a match that is with these facts, but we'll get there. A judge set a bond of $10,000 to the man. If he's released, he'll have to wear an ankle monitor. A preliminary hearing is scheduled for October. Car wash employee was concerned when a female customer asked for the cameras to be viewed. She was sure someone was under her car while she was vacuuming. So she suspected he was under there, but she didn't do anything about it with the guy under the car. She instead pulled out and then went and told them. After viewing the footage, they say that they looked at it and realized, yep. So sure enough, going through the video footage, I watched that happen. She was already in the process of calling the police. Employees were able to partially read his license plate and keep a lookout just in case he returned. And the employee of the car wash said there's no way he's coming back for a 3rd time. And then, so the surveillance footage shows him walking back and forth. He's watching to see what she's doing. When we talked to her, she's in the back seat vacuuming her car on that driver's side, and he slipped underneath. So apparently he watches and waits till she's out of view, then he slips underneath the car. He was underneath the vehicle for about 5 to 6 minutes. Then he slips out, goes to his back passenger tire, and is trying to fiddle with it, making it seem like he's been there the whole time. It's something he's done many times before. In 2016, he told Nebraska law enforcement that he is sexually attracted to women's feet and at times can't control his desires. Anytime we looked at him under the vehicle, he's just lying there watching them. And it left the employees of the car wash speechless. I don't have any words, to be honest, the employee said. I don't know what to say about it. It's crazy to me. Employees say they watched the man pull around the corner and wait for the victims, all 3 of them women. So he'd pull around the corner and wait to see a woman pull in with an SUV, and then he'd pull in next to her, climb out of his car, pretend he's messing with his car, and as soon as she's out of sight, boom, he'd roll and get underneath her car so he could watch her feet. And yeah, this is a very weird story. But as with most of my stories, I got to find some way to tie this into the law. And the question is, disorderly conduct, yeah, all day long. What he's doing is so strange and disorderly that if I was on a jury, I'd be like, yeah, that's disorderly conduct. But voyeurism is a little more technical. And so I went and looked it up, and remember this happening in Arizona. So we got to look at the Arizona law on voyeurism, which I haven't done recently, but I did this morning, 13-1424. It is unlawful to knowingly invade the privacy of another person without the knowledge of the other person for the purpose of sexual stimulation. Now, the guy, they say, admitted that he got turned on by this. So that would sound like it, okay? But the question is he invading her privacy? And so B says it is unlawful for a person to disclose, display, distribute, or publish photographs, videotapes, films, or digital recording, et cetera, without the knowledge. And that's not what's happening here. There's no allegation recorded anything. And then for the purposes of this section, a person's privacy is invaded if both of the following apply. And it says the person has a reasonable expectation that the person will not be photographed, videotaped, filmed, digitally recorded, or otherwise viewed. So it does count if you're just watching somebody, but it must have both. The person is photographed, videotaped, filmed, digitally recorded, or otherwise viewed either. And then it says, while the person is in a state of undress or partial dress, it's not the case here. While the person is engaged in sexual intercourse or sexual contact, it's not here. While the person is urinating or defecating, not here. In a manner that directly or indirectly captures or allows the viewing of the person's private parts, et cetera, that is otherwise not visible to the public. The question is, what did he see that would otherwise not be visible to the public? And so don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to justify what this guy did. I'm simply pointing out that this statute implies that, yeah, it's wrong to watch somebody in a way that invades their privacy. But then it says that it's got to be involving a state of dress or undress, some kind of sexual intercourse or contact, or a person using the bathroom, or being able to see a person's private parts. And that's it for the four possibilities. And so here, they're alleging that he was looking at their feet, but he's looking at their feet in public, and their feet were just as clothed as they were when the person was going around doing the rest of their daily chores when they were doing the vacuuming of their vehicles. Again, I'm not trying to defend the guy, but I'm just saying right now that I can see a defense attorney going, okay, prosecutor, show me. Which one of these four are you alleging? So, because remember, C says, for the purposes of this section, a person's privacy is invaded if both of the following apply. And one is that they were recorded, filmed, photographed, or viewed. So you got that, but you need both. And then you need one of the four. State of undress, sexual intercourse, going to the bathroom, or being able to see personal private parts. So I'm not sure how well that'll stick. The disorderly conduct all day long and twice on Sunday. I mean, that one right there, my friends, is pretty straightforward. I suspect some people are going to say, but Steve, you know something? The car wash is kind of out in the public. It's open to the public. And if there's no rules saying a guy can't roll around out there underneath other people's cars, then he's not even breaking their rules, and it's not in public property. Okay, but like I said, toss it to a jury and see what a jury does with it. So this is one of the weirder cases I've ever read, and I admit that, but we'll see what happens. But the stranger part of this is the fact that he did it 3 times this time, allegedly, and that he's been cited for it previously, and it appears to be a problem that the man has admitted to having. So, dude, that's why they have the internet, okay? Kenneth Wong and Kenzie Beach wrote that for Fox 10 out of Phoenix. Kevin sent it. Thanks a lot. Man previously cited for hiding under woman's car, arrested in Arizona. The allegation that he may have done that 3 more times to 3 different people. Caught on videotape. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. Wasting time is an important part of life.